Hello, everybody. It's time to play King of the Castle, yet again. But this time, we're going to start a new dynasty so we can try out some additional regions. Here we are. I think I should be king. Sorry, socialist daughter. I'm the ruler here. New dynasty. Me, again. Queen. Which means it's gonna refer to me as double queen in the game. Cacophony. With our dynasty name. DistantCacophonies. I swear it doesn't say snackophonies, it's snakeophonies, alright? Don't question it. We go in. Queen Cacophony of the snakeophonies. We begin. Snackophonies. We're playing on Twitch. Continue. Okay, we are gonna have to have one region overlap here because we can grab two new ones with Barons of the March and Grandees of the South. The Barons are brash, rural lords famous for their belligerence and fondness for hunting. Huzzah! And the Grandees are impassioned duelists known for their strict adherence to honor, etiquette, and the ninth god. So, for our third region, which one do you want to redo again? As I look over and I say, purple, counts again, chiefs strong, chiefs are pretty great, Fox, and hello and welcome, by the way, but kind of sounds like most people want the counts. Because I say, purple, counts again, vampires. And you are right too, Slime. We haven't seen the counts win. Though I don't think we ever saw the patricians win. I think the North were the only ones who managed to win out against me. The counts are fun, true. Oh, and I do like vampires. Alright, we begin from here. Join now. Typing in join in Twitch chat to join the game is a noble. I think if you just do join, by the way, it might just auto put you in as a they, but otherwise, you can specify, enter in, join one of the regions. Vampire versus the Sun Cult. This should be fun. You know, that's a fair point. It is a moon versus sun situation here. And then the Barons up there at the top just sit by, watching them hang out over, fighting it out, moon versus sun, and they just wait to finish off whoever wins. Frick the church. Yes, at least the traditional church from Slime over here, looking over at the ninth god church and going, no, I worship demons! Because I do remember attending some ceremonies held by them counts, and they certainly weren't ninth god approved. Praise the sun! Says Bread Shift over here. Whoa! I love the sun! The sun is so friendly to all of us. It's nice and shiny, it's comfortable, it gives us plant powers. Yeah, I love the sun. And by the way, hello there, Jesse, welcome, and Griffinfire, hey. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and begin. Great start right here with all of our places, totally even, nobody with one fewer or one person with one more. We begin the game. And if you didn't join in, it does let you join mid-game, so no issues. I like explosives and propaganda. The sun is boring. Dude, no need to give the sun a hard time, alright? Praise the ninth. Oh shit, when did this start? Just now, Spud. We have just started. I just hit the play button. We're going in. So you have missed nothing of the game. In fact, I walk on over so I can get my coronation here. Can't believe Twitch never tells me when people are streaming. The things that Twitch does not want you to know. As an alternative, you can always join the Discord. You don't actually have to use it if you don't want to. But I do have an announcements channel, and I do ping there whenever I stream. That would be a way you could grab it. Now, Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. And Green Lobin, hello, welcome.
Sean, no. Why the hurry? Why do we have to go now?
I don't know about that. Discord is spooky. Well, as Wally's trying to convince her.
But we're nice, I swear.
To delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest beck.
They wouldn't dare.
You should pay more attention to your history books, Your Majesty. The nobles are always planning something. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation.
Of course. It's only traditional.
Shall we call the nobles in?
Yeah. And I'm not going to pick any option here. Choose what you like. Hold a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine.
Force the commoners to swear a blood oath? Throw me into the river? Or the nobles must put on a vast banquet for the queen? AKA you, I look over at everybody here present in chat. You could hold a banquet for me, the queen, giving up your money. But I'll take it and put it into my treasury here. Rip treasury, Welly says, choosing to host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine, where I'm paying for the party.
But it's my coronation. You should be paying for it. What the heck? Banquet. Yummy banquet from the queen's payment. No, not from my wallet. Stop.
I think we've got everybody voting in this one, or just about, so almost all even, just barely. The hosting a lavish parade winning on top. What an even split.
The fact that we don't pay makes it so much sweeter. Ow, my pockets. All right.
The coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks, and feasts. It has an impact on your treasury, of course, but what doesn't?
My stability.
Wait, the stability's increasing. I'm misreading that. I was looking at that backwards. That's the stability going up. Hey, that's not bad. I don't mind having my kingdom be a little bit more stable. Now, let's go ahead and enter, and so we can meet everybody too. Now that you're the queen, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Your nobles hail from all across the kingdom, the desolate east, the scorching south, and of course, the bleak march.
Alright, we have to meet everybody, so we want to make sure we do our proper introductions. Look! There's Willy! Hi, Willy! An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Highness. May you escape the doom.
Wait, no. Wrong voice. This is a vampire. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Highness. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor.
Alright, how about the grandees?
It's Spud! Hi, Spud!
May the ninth god bless you.
Okay, how would the grandees sound, actually, now that I'm pausing?
Hey, the ninth?
Probably really soft, simple, you know? They gotta worship their ninth god over here, their weakest in military.
May the ninth god bless your reign, Your Highness. Oh, I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith.
Grandees nuts. Hell yeah, princess. Lawless. That's the way. Hello, by the way, hey. And now, the Barons of the March. Last group.
Piss boys with their best gods. You're just saying that because they're yellow. It's gold, they swear. Like money and gold coins and gems and jewels. Encrusted all together as one big, magnificent, bulky, shiny pile. It's not P. It's me. Hello. Yeah. Hi, Griffin. Hi. It is you. Right here. Look at your great hat, too. Damn.
How would they sound? Hail and well met, my liege. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. This is what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Well, maybe I should have paid to not be crowned the ruler.
That's what they all say about the P. Come on, dude. It's true. Money is green, actually, because of the patricians.
The patricians being so wealthy, loving their region's color, when they started printing it, they printed it in green, just like them.
Your Majesty, the first few years of your reign are the most difficult. You're new and unproven. The nobles of the council will scheme against you, hoping to kick you off the throne and put their own puppet claimant in your place.
Oh, please. Those fools couldn't scheme their way out of a paper bag.
Better queens than you have been toppled by their treacherous nobles, your Majesty. To defeat their schemes, you must secure an heir and prove you are worthy of the crown by completing an ambition. My question is this. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you?
Okay, I think before I did farming, so we're definitely not taking that route again. Our other choices are as a conqueror, as the greatest queen who have ever lived, authority, architect, trade, stability, farming, faith. I look across my different kingdoms.
You know, people are pretty faithful.
But with the counts being the least faithful this time. But farming is very high, but that farming wasn't what I was wanting to do this time.
Military strong! But I don't want to rule over everybody with an iron fist. I think we all need to behave. Pull together our grandee support.
If you support the 9th, the grandee shall support you.
Somewhat, anyway. We still want our own claimant on the throne, but you know.
No northerners to be heathens this time round.
Yeah! Freak the gods, no! Don't freak the gods! I want to be faithful!
I did already have an increase or higher start amount with stability there, but nah.
I'm gonna try faith. The church will love you, I suspect. But will anyone else? I suggest over the next few years, you focus on improving the kingdom's overall faith as much as possible.
That's right. Praise the 9th.
Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty.
Our queen is so soft. Where's her sword?
I don't have one. This is why we have to put in our own ruler on the throne. This queen is sucky. They're too soft. I don't like it.
And Luca comes marching out. When have the barons of the march backed down from a fight? Never. I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful monarch, on the throne. What scheme for the barons? That means if you are a baron, this is your time to vote. If you're not a baron, you can't vote here in this situation, so choose. Do you want to have the lowest defiance? Do you want to lower my stability? Or do you want to lower my authority? Which one do you want here? As Shado points over at B saying,
that one, it's most historically accurate.
Oh. You know, I don't really know much of the history of the barons of the march, which is probably not very good, seeing as I rule over you. Kind of embarrassing for the ruler of everybody to not know their different region histories, but hey. Alright, we've got 4 votes. I'm assuming That's pretty much everybody, if not everybody. That is, almost. One person could tie break it, but tough. It's going to then randomize between the two of them. Boom. So, your goal is to lower stability. Bring it down. Make everything chaotic. The barons plan to persuade the population that only a charismatic general can protect them. First, the common folk must be afraid. To advance their scheme, the barons must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. That also means you have to bring it down by 2 instead of just 1 because of the way the play started here with what you chose for me to do for my coronation, paying for that big party. And then the grandees come out.
False pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered.
So, what's your goal here? Lower stability, raise own farming, lower stability. These are 2 variations of lower stability then. Either subterfuge or excommunication. Excommunication? Wouldn't that be kicking me out of the church or something? But I want to be a saint. That's the opposite of what I want. Oh no. Though, raising your own farming. I'm looking over at you, already starting out with a 7, goddamn. Though, excommunication does seem curious.
Imagine picking faith!
Dude, Slime, come on. That's what the Sun people are all about over here. They love their 9th god, man.
We may ally ourselves with the March.
You just want their military. So, boom. Lowering stability. Also your goal, which means you can look over at the barons, as you say, allying yourself with the March. You shake hands, saying, yeah, let's lower the stability of this place. We didn't get a faith option that was farming, which is at a 6, which is true. But the last one being labeled as excommunication makes it sound like it's going to be faith-related later on. Piss people with their piss gods pissing their pants. Oh my god. Come on! Stop making fun of them! It's because they're colored after gold! They hate this bullying! You're gonna make them cry.
You know what? So what if we like piss? What's it to you?
Wait a second, they're embracing it. So to advance their scheme, the grandees must lower stability to 4 or less in 2 seasons? That's less time than the barons have. What's with the shorter time scale? And Mad Scientist, hello and welcome. The 9th god respects piss very much. Thank you, I guess. Piss god? Oh, and Jasarl, hello, welcome. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false Queen Cacophony wears the crown.
I'm not a false queen. You can tell because my queen was in all capitals.
Harpist shall blot out the sun. It will be one with the sun.
Are we willing, fellow barons? We just got started, so the barons just picked out what they're doing.
And here, for the counts, what is your goal? Raise other defiance, lower own faith, lower own defiance. Where? Oops. Not quite making it here for votes and within the timer, but fortunately I can pause and wait to make sure everybody has a moment to look and decide. Again, raise other defiance with intimidation, lower own faith with ascension, or lower own defiance, possession. What are you gonna try for? And Lalafell, hello, welcome back.
Well, guess you have to make the Counts believers now. Even though they don't want to believe. The Counts hate believing.
I sweat nervously in me wanting to be a saint.
I hate the grandees more than the queen.
But it's me that even wants faith this time, so that means you hate them and me. Darn heretic vampires! Good luck lowering your faith. The Counts plan to induct the Queen into their secret cult and offer her immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. To advance their scheme, the Counts must lower their own faith to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Pretty much then, you just have to maintain. You don't want it to go up any higher, or else you will be foiled. Don't stop believing. More like, don't stop believing.
With just a simple comma, change the sentence completely.
Alright, you have your goals. We end the season. And so, oh look at that! Everybody gets an event this time. It's not going to be like the Coast in prior times, who had season after season of not getting any event. Everybody gets one. I'm also taking a moment to pause and look around what everybody's land looks like. The East having huge amounts of territory over here. The March, boom, taking it all up in the middle. And then a little small section down here with the coast. The South coast. The South, in fact, does not have an event. Oh, you're right. Never mind. Maybe the South will get one next time? Probably not. These are probably going to end up being storylines, and we're going to have to follow them a couple of times before anything happens. I'm walking in here first. What's up? My honor guard. It's time for me to pick. Now that you are the queen, you need personal protection. Why, I could plunge my sword into your heart right now. Could I not?
Ha! I'd like to see you try. I am a powerful queen.
I crack my knuckles. Is it your imagination? Or does your marshal stifle a wry chuckle? In any case, she quickly hides it. You need an honor guard to keep you safe for such dangers, your majesty. Unfortunately, this is a political decision. Alright, what are my options? Each region offers a selection of elite guards. The Counts with the Knights of Order of the Drowned Rose. The Grandees with fierce battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. And the Barons offer a squad of battle-hardened veteran soldiers. Did you say battle nuns?
Pick me, your majesty. I will solo anyone who comes after you.
This is perfect. Lalafell, a battle nun. Ready to defend me? Hell yeah, I want some battle nuns. Sounds hot. Think carefully, your majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to Coin above all. Yeah, I'm taking the battle nuns. That's what I want. Oh my god. Holy shit, look at this battle nun. Got like a gray mask on, iron mask. Terrifying warriors, and they've sworn a vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. Yay, battle nuns! Nuns as warriors? What a joke. Look, we don't really know who the ninth god is exactly. It could be the god of war. What are they gonna do? Pray for your safety? They pray to their warrior god to smite you. Bolt of lightning strikes down directly at Shadow. But their faith and loyalty is to the church above all, even your safety.
I've made my...
I should have gone back and read the description first of the march, because I would be curious to hear about them. Because we haven't read theirs, or I haven't read theirs before.
But too late, I've already picked.
I've already said, I decided! So, we're going with the Southern Nuns. Hello, nuns. Welcome. Join me.
Veterans are tough and loyal.
I mean, the battle nuns are loyal for the most part in SuperCon. Hello and welcome. The battle nuns arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel masks betraying nothing, before filing into formation behind your throne. Hell yeah, my battle nun entourage.
My sword is so shiny it can deflect it, you sun-worshipping lunatics!
Licks the sword? Well, what are you, an anime protagonist? Licking your blade?
Dude, you're gonna cut your tongue! Be careful!
Alright, East. You have missing nobles over here? Hi, Green Lobin. What's going on? Your Majesty, a number of barons have gone missing in the east. They traveled to Count Lawless Princess's castle to negotiate a trade agreement, but they should have returned 2 weeks ago. Oh wait, was I reading the wrong? I think I was reading it the wrong way around. Oops, that was the barons talking now we're at the east. Please. The missing barons never even made it to my lands. They most likely got lost. The East is a dangerous place.
Huh? Well, who's gone missing anyway? Is it anyone I even care about?
There we go. See, it is the barons. Oops. Even though it very clearly is red, not purple, different group, fashion even, making it very clear, but... Well, 3 barons are missing. Baron Socialist Otter, Baron Shadow, and Baron Jasarl. Huh? Where could they have gone? Oh, I'm missing. Socialist Otter somewhere in the woods out here.
Where could they have gone?
Well, just north of my estate lies the Mud Batter Forest. To the west, the Twilight Lakeland, and to the south, Larian's Haunt. I like to live remotely, but does wonders for the toll. I'm certain that this is some kind of ploy by Count Lawless Princess. In a few months' time, he'll quietly offer us a ransom. Oh, please, Blood and Stars, don't be so foolish. We'll find them. We just have to decide where to focus our efforts. Okay, so the choices we can go check out. We can go look around the Multipatter Forest, we can look over there at the Twilight Lakeland, or Alarian's Haunt, which might mean ghosts looking at the haunt part. I'm sure you're just misplaced. We accidentally put you over here in the Alarian's Haunt instead of up here in the Multipatter Forest. Easy to do.
They're just mad we stole the red style, 'cause blood, you know?
It's entirely possible. You took blood over there because you love the color of battle, bleeding blood.
But they like it for drinking purposes. They're like, yay, we love blood.
And so you fight over the red and the barons ended up winning. Faithless counts are quite hard to trust. We squinted. Where's the option to not look for them at all? Well, that's technically the last one. We don't look for them. We look at you, saying, no, Lawless kidnapped them. We're going to execute them. Because you clearly abducted them.
Where's the option to not look for them and not be killed?
Lawless says, sweating nervously.
I'm going to go ahead and...
Though this does increase my authority. But I'm going to veto that anyway. No, We're not going to kill Lawless. We're going to go ahead and trust that he didn't take anybody.
You're no fun! Come on, it'll be like playing hide and seek anyway. If we go look around at these other areas where they could be, then it's, like, Marco! Oh no. Marco! Oh no.
Or you could walk out in the woods if we are playing hide and seek and, go, Ollie, Ollie, oxen free! And then they have to come out of the woodwork, right?
Caco loves me too much to ever kill me.
Well, yeah. But if all of the nobles around here who, don't love you say that you just want to be killed, they would have picked that option. But I don't think you kidnapped them. That seems a little bit drastic. I don't quite see the reason why you would want to kill them here. Or, sorry, kidnap them. Just because you kidnapped them doesn't mean you've killed them. And by the way, hello there, Don Unt, and welcome. It looks like everybody, or most people, it was pretty close there between the Twilight Lakeland and Larian's Haunt, but we are going to go check out the lake.
Woo! Is it just because you guys want to go swimming? Are the grandees out here putting on their bathing suits and going, yeah, let's go for a dip?
I mean, I guess.
A swim would be nice.
They're out here used to living down in the very hot southern regions, and they go,
yeah, we love swimming, hooey, sploosh.
A detachment of elite trackers are sent over the vast lakeland to search for Gisarl and the other barons. But they turn up nothing. Nothing to do with the missing nobles, anyway. Oh! Your Majesty, you'll never guess what we found. It's not Baron Gisarl, but it's just as exciting, perhaps more. It's the fabled melancholy lake, the very same one in which Queen Zashara drowned herself after her sons were murdered. Ooh, how exquisitely cultural. Aye, how wonderful. I'm so happy. For you.
Barons aren't exactly happy that they weren't successful in finding the other guys.
Looks like we're gonna have a few missing barons.
Ooh!
Well, this is unfortunate. Sorry, Gisarl. You're dead now. So now that Gisarl II is joining instead. Socialist order. Dead. Your offspring now also joining the council. Shado, I'm sorry. We'll make sure to have a fancy feast in your honor. And then welcome your child, Shado II, to the council instead.
The Count's murdered my friends! Dude, what the hell?
Damn, maybe we should have just killed Lawless. Maybe they did kidnap him. Oh, jeez.
Or they died in some other lost region, I'm not entirely sure.
And now, barons? Kinda seems like in addition to your guys getting lost over there in the woods, also dealing with a plague?
My father died because of those bloodsuckers!
Now Shado holds a grudge.
Gee, I sure love being alive, damn!
This is like the trolley situation. I could have looked between Lawless and said, kill one, versus 3 of them. We've just lost 3 lives and we could have lost just 1. I've made the wrong decision. Your Majesty, the march has struck with the plague. And not just any plague, a dancing plague.
What? But then, why aren't you dancing?
I haven't been infected yet, of course. Otherwise, I would not be here to risk it spreading to your highness. It affects everyone, even the dogs and the cats. We don't know how it started, but it's spreading quickly. Whole villages are dancing themselves half to death. Okay, so do we quarantine them? Do we pass a law that forbids dancing? This doesn't seem like it would work if it is an actual and say infection. They're just going to keep dancing anyway. Or just let it be. How bad is dancing anyway?
Come on, dancing's not so bad. Let them dance. But what if we hate dancing and we don't want the barons to be having a good time?
Or do we just quarantine those infected, thus making it kind of like a little private dance party? They can keep dancing all they want, but do so just together as a small private group.
Everyone should dance.
Well, now I know which way this option's going. I'm looking over at Let It Be. Sounds like everybody just wants to let them dance, except for Lawless up there. This is why Lawless kidnapped and killed those grandees. He knew that they were infected with the dance, and he hates dancing and didn't want to catch it. I love all of the other barons down here, though, are all saying, come on, how bad is dancing? Dancing's pretty cool. Probably okay. Even though you came to me for help saying, we got a problem. You then all said, you know what? Maybe it isn't a problem. Maybe we like dancing down here. A dancing plague might bring some life to the masses. Why not let it spread? Soon, half the kingdom is dancing around the clock as the plague hits other regions, including the capital. Other regions. That means counts and grandees, you're getting struck up too. All of the barons who are dancing voted to stay dancing. They didn't want to get locked up is why. Well, kingdom dropping in stability. Farming dropping down, farming dropping down, farming dropping down. Everybody's too busy dancing to actually work out here. Alright. That's the end of the season. I've got them moves as you moonwalk away. Damn, they're cool. And now it's auction time. Remember that for the auctions, the top 2 votes are what wins here. And depending on what buildings are chosen to be constructed will affect different stats. So, if it is just a general stat like here, barren farming means that building a deer park will decrease the baron's farming, not everybody else's. But say down here where the counts library, that increases stability. Stability is a shared stat amongst everybody. So this wouldn't be for counts specifically stability. Barons, perhaps a prison would be lovely. Except not in your lands, a prison down where the grandees are at. Again though, keep in mind you only need to be in the top 2 positions to win. You don't have to beat number 2 by thousands and thousands of dollars. And Plaz, hello, welcome. And Mero X, hi. Should probably make sure the library or observatory don't get funded. Depending on what you're aiming for. Overall, the choices are barren farming down. Barren. Trade down. Maybe read it out as deer park. Build a thieves guild. Counts, you can build a library to increase stability. Observatory. Build that. Get faith down. Grandees, build a grand bazaar, increasing trade. Or grandees, build a prison, which decreases stability. So, make your pick. Choose. Decide what option you want to vote for and what you want to spend. In which case you use the command !fund X, as in the character code, A, B, C, D, E, F, and Y is the amount you're paying for it. So, the auction begins. And note that this is a hard 60-second countdown. It is not one that I can let just continue to count. It will end after 60 seconds. So fund. I love Donut and Shadow both just pushing out singular coins to fund.
Lawless funding with 1,500? Did you really have that much money? I think you probably only have 1,000 to put in for. That's crazy! It's too much money!
And right now, with 20 seconds remaining, top two right now are the prison for decreasing stability and the observatory for decreasing faith.
But those are both the stats I need to be high!
And plus the counts building up their faithless observatory, working towards their goal too. Oh, that's the end. And those are totally what's gotten funded here, huh? Oh, well, there goes down another point in stability then. Now everybody has got their goal completed.
But what about me? Oh. At least the stability is still down.
Oh, I don't want the stability to be down, though. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master, but there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother and Eurist. Hello, welcome.
Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Oh boy, I love my mom! Hi, Mom! Hi! I can't wait to tell you about how my ruling has gone. It's kind of like when you get home. Leave me alone, Mom. I'm playing Minecraft. No! I play Minecraft with my mom. It's a lot of fun because then she can tell the other people to stop bullying me. I can tell everyone that I'll get my mom and I can point over at her. She has 2 diamond swords and they're both enchanted.
Alright, but
Mother, I don't want to get married.
nonsense. A queen cannot rule alone. But don't worry. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind?
Oh, Annie, if you're gonna make me get married, Mom, just find somebody and come back.
Well, now we just have to wait for Mom to find me someone to date. Let's continue the East storyline first. Aha! The lake we discovered, beyond all doubt. The final resting place of Queen Zashara the Melancholy. She drowned herself after your ancestors, King Arald the Great, killed their sons. This is very important cultural discovery, you understand. Pilgrims have already turned up from all across the East. A number of poems have been composed. Well, look at that, Lawless. Because of this discovery, you've just gotten some cash money. With all of this new tourism to the area, your area,
And now the Easterners' faith becoming even lower.
oh my god.
We need to fix this. Something must be done about these heathens. We have to teach them the way of the ninth god. No, don't fund the faith and get paid. Stop.
I thought you might want to get involved. Perhaps spare some of your treasury to fund some cultural events? Oh no, not the faith.
I care.
Was it worth my friends' lives? Lawless, being 300 coins richer, probably would say yeah. I cannot believe this. Fund the construction of an entirely new town by the lakeside? And my treasury is too low for that at 2K? How expensive would this new town be? Our other choices here are to excavate the lake bed and search for Queen Sashara's remains. Percentage chance. Thus, stats changing depend on if we succeed or fail. We can hold a festival and a poetry competition, which is going to cost me some money, but you'll be more aligned with me. That's not too bad. Or do we leave the lake alone? After all this time we spent searching around, how excited these counts are about their pond. We could just leave it. What do you want to do?
Barons, I think we should do D. Go don't give the counts anything.
Remember the transgressions the counts did to your fellow barons?
Barons hate this. They're mad. They want to leave the lake alone. The grandees, too, seeing the heathenous waters. They don't want to vote and check out the lake anymore either. But what if I'm buried in the lake? That isn't even worth trying for?
No treasure hunting? No, not with option D. I don't want to go hunt for treasure. Frick treasures. Leave the lake alone. But you do get to have a gambling roll with the top option choosing to excavate, which is more of the treasure hunting option here. And is very clearly, between the two, everyone is very split. Particularly funny is when you always have the couple of people that say,
I don't know, I think we should excavate it. You never know, we might find corpses.
or the grandees up here going, but then we can hang out at the lake longer if we excavate it. Seems like pretty much everyone who is around has voted. Quick vote D. I think it's too late now, because I just hit the stop button. I break the tie.
I want to know what's in the lake bed too! I grab out my little dustpan and I start working.
Do, as I sweep up some dirt into the pen carefully because I'm an excavationer.
Failed?
Oh, we probably broke something over here. And Lawless, thanks for gifting a sub. That's very nice. Appreciated. The counts began excavation immediately, but objections from the church and a lack of competent Eastern divers puts the brakes on the operation.
God dang it!
Actually, though, I look to the church. You didn't want me to do this? Well, I do want to be a saint, so maybe it's good that that failed.
Wait, their faith dropped more?
Ugh, those damn priests! Always getting in the way of a good exhumation. Oh, now they're mad. Oh, I'm sorry. We're trying our best. I'm sure the church, if they knew it wasn't for any heathenist reason, wouldn't be too upset with you or anything. Baron Donut stands before you, hopping frantically from one foot to the other as they speak. The plague, my liege, it's spreading. Why, I think I've been affected myself.
Wow! Where did you learn those moves? They're so impressive. Dang, I wish I could hop like that. Hang on, let me try. And then a little bit like... Yeah. But it's still not as impressive as that guy. God damn.
God, now is not the time for jests, your majesty. You need to do something or we'll dance ourselves to death. This may look fun, but trust me, it's anything but. Order the nobles to hide in their castles and wait it out for their private dancing. Hire a wizard to sort it out. I'm glad I didn't use my veto on that last vote, because that option would bankrupt me. I veto the wizard, or infect the nobility as a show of solidarity. I don't know, dude, more dancing. But wizards! We love wizards! We could have had wizards if back at the very start you didn't make me pay for a fancy party. Then I would have had the coin to actually afford the wizard. Huh? But it's too late. I can't buy it now.
I voted for the river.
Oh, and if that vote had won.
But wizards!
Again, no matter how much you try to, convince me, it ain't gonna work. I don't have the money, and so it just straight up puts it out of the question.
Is it a tiny wizard?
It could be. We are just doing a general wizard recruitment. So whether we would end up with a tiny wizard or not, it's just entirely dependent on who applies. Everybody, though, however, walks over. Well, not everybody. Many people say, come on, infect more people. We gotta stand together in the dance. With the change of stats here, top one being stability, authority, trade, all dropping. But if we just infect the noble, then the only thing that drops is stability. But we do get more, or you guys do get more defiant as a result. But clearly, everybody just wants more dancing. They're not gonna tell the nobles to go hide. No, we nod and say, yeah, I kind of want more dancing too. The nobles are infected. Not everyone is keen to show solidarity. Still, it's the best way of showing the peasants that you're all in this together. Everyone then becoming more defiant. It'll pay off in the long run. You dance your way to the council chambers every day, then dance your way to dinner, then dance back to bed. In your sleep, your feet do a little jig. Eventually, the plague runs its natural course. Now, though, even the hint of a jaunty tune sends half the population into a frenzied panic. Many will never dance again. Oh no! This is counter to what you expected. Expecting the nobility is too funny and I already died once. Imagine ending up with Socialist Otter the Third from dancing.
Seasons end.
Back here in the south, in a picturesque castle overlooking the southern city of Serena, two grandees are lying back and enjoying the sun.
The city may look peaceful, but underneath it's nothing but discontent. All across the kingdom, peasants are sharpening their cutlery and barricading their shacks. They know a storm is coming, and who better to blame but the queen herself? Exactly. The commoners are afraid, and it's time for them to find their faith.
For the next stage of their scheme, the grandees must raise all regions' faith to a combined total of at least 12 in 4 seasons. This is pretty fortunate for you, because already 6 plus 7, not even considering the counts at all, that's 13! So, counts, even if you did drop down your own faith one more, it still wouldn't be enough. Thank God the Northerners aren't here. That would have fucked us. Hey, Spud, if the Northerners were here instead of the Counts, which is the one we would have replaced, you would still be okay. Because again, if the Counts had 0 faith right now, you would have no problem. Damn, I look dapper. Dude, every noble we see out here does look very good. Let's be real. Everyone is always dressed to the nines.
Alright. It's time for me to get some money.
The Baron's new hotcakes are selling like sliced bread, making 500 wealth. Wow, if you're a Baron out here, you get big money this round.
However, I need more money. 2K treasury, not enough. I look at the defiance level for everybody else. You know, why not? I'm going to tax the South. My friends, I need my church tax, please. You understand. Also worshipping the 9th god. Vet visit is over, Kitty's fine, he just needs to lose 1 pound. That's great! Which means you just have to, feed less, maybe play a little bit more. The defiance is at dangerous levels. Not from the grandees, they were only at 1. So that's why I didn't tax the barons or the counts. I taxed the grandees. Alright, who can I marry this time, Mom?
I have found 3 potential matches for you. one eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance.
Yes, I know, Mom. It's a requirement and everything.
Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth.
Wait, I don't even get to meet them?
Oh, please, there's no time for sentiment. You just need a match that befits your station and suits your political needs.
But what if they hate Minecraft and they never want to Minecraft with me? That would be tragic.
She whisks the cloth away from the first portrait. This is Alistair, the eldest son of the Eastern Mayro X dynasty. According to the counts, he's a little naive, but that may just be compared to the utter ruthlessness of the Eastern counts, or the Eastern courts. He had a laboratory installed in his castle and spends most of his time there conducting bizarre experiments. He got in some trouble with the Inquisition a while ago, but it didn't come to anything.
So are you saying if I marry this here count, I won't ever even have to see them or worry about them?
And now, Your Majesty, if you'd like the Church's assistance in becoming a saint, I would recommend marrying your grandee. Battle nuns? And a faithful husband-wife. Marriage is overrated, just join the church. Oh, yes, I become a battle nun myself. And, by the way, go Freeman. Hey, hello. Plus science, that is, I don't know. I was going to say, hey, yeah, good point, but sometimes, science can be a little bit, anti-religious around here. He's an intriguing candidate. And then from the south here is Zathintha, the eldest heir of Lalafell Punter lineage. Prone to depressive episodes, apparently, but they mean well. Oh, I'm sorry, Lalafell. Your child struggles with a little bit of depression. They're sad. Like many in the South, they claim to put their faith in the ninth god above all worldly concerns. Actually, they're a little intense. They call themselves an avatar of the ninth justice.
Well, if they're right, that would be important to be married to them, right? Yeah, praise the ninth. The avatar of the ninth justice. It does sound pretty cool.
Not bad. And finally, we have the Marches offering, Gloria, scion of the prestigious Gisarl bloodline. A typical baroness, really. Loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. And apparently, she's a hell of a fighter, brave as a lioness, tough as nails, a terror to behold. Oh, and she's not popular with the peasantry. Something about her sets their teeth on edge.
That sounds like quite the laugh.
Alright, Gisarl. Honestly, between everybody, I'm kind of into Gloria. Sounds like a little bit of a badass. Though, Zathintha did see... Really, everybody between all of these candidates don't sound too bad. Alistair, we wouldn't have to worry about at all because they would just be doing experiments away from us all day. Zathintha over there, being from the South Grandee, saying that they're the ninth justice, an avatar. I mean, hell yeah, I do like the church. Badass in the bed props too. I wipe my brow. Do you think that's true? I look to the right. I look to the left. I point at her. Yes. What better way to secure a position as a saint than to marry an avatar of the ninth?
That might be true. I also want to do it, as my mother said, for political reasons. And seeing as the barons were, along with the counts, the most defiant, it's partially why I'm choosing them. Plus, they do have military power, and having a powerful wife, I'm not opposed to. Okay.
Next, down here, we've got some southern happenings. Let's go check out this terrible curse. Grandee Urist rushes into the council chamber, breathless and disarray. What? By the 9th, you look like you haven't slept for weeks. Oh, that's because I've been placed under a curse. Look, my hair's falling out in chunks. What? By the 9th god, get away from me! I push back, Urist. Oh, please. It was one of my knaves. I saw it in her eyes. She's an evil witch. Okay, well, we can go have this so-called witch tested. We can send scholars to the southern lands to find an explanation. Or we have the accursed Urist sent to the march to relax. Dude, we're grandees. We need to have that witch tested up here. We need to figure out what's happening. We need to determine, is this actually a witch? That way we can throw her into the waters to do the final testing, removal, purification. Come on. Besides, think of that possibility. If one of our witch tests is to see if she does that sinking or floating, you get to throw somebody into the water. Don't you love throwing people into waters? Throwing them in the river? I know I do. Come on, come on. Just consider throwing into the river. Think of how warm and cozy a good witch burning would be too. Yeah, we get to go out and burn the stake and set her on fire. And everybody loves that, but we can't do that, and we can't know unless we burn her. Sorry, I'm skipping steps straight to the burning. Whoosh. We have to give her a test first. And it looks like we've just got a draw here, which means I, the queen, step out and say, yeah, let's have that so-called witch tested, eh? You arrange for a priestess of the 9th god to question the accursed. The church does not look kindly upon witches, particularly if they're cursing a noble for no reason. The peasant girl denies everything, but her defiant attitude gets her in trouble. After a few days of questioning, the verdict is announced. Guilty, with a failure in faith. Oops. The stability drops down even more. Yeah, that wasn't a great roll. Failing a 70% chance. The accursed is hauled away for punishment, but Urist's hair troubles persist. Word quickly spreads about the incident, and peasants mutter that the witch was innocent. Lunatics killed the innocent! We were too desperate for burning the witch. Oh, we just wanted a bonfire. This simply can't go on, Your Majesty. These arch-boffins think they know everything, but they know nothing of the 9th god's wrath. Oh, please, Your Majesty. We found a perfect site for an observatory, high in the southern hills. But it's on Grandee Breadshift's lands, and he refuses to let us build there. Hey, Breadshift, are you gonna let this stand? Please, such things are heresy. The stars are just as big and close as the 9th god intended. Who put you up to this idea, I bet it was one of those counts like Plaz, bleh, ptoo. Are we going to construct the observatory anyway? We're going to find a different site for the observatory? Or are you going to forbid the construction of the observatory entirely? Are we going to forbid the construction and investigate the scholars' funding? I don't like them over here doing things that might oppose the 9th god. maybe we should investigate the funding. Where is the money going to? The curse of that heretical witch had already taken hold. We stopped her from harming others, though. Praise be the ninth. Yeah, it was just killing the witch didn't end the curse is all. That was the problem.
I have a bad feeling this has something to do with the counts.
Likely. Those scientists. Start the vote. What are we gonna do here? Are we going to check the paper trail and investigate the scholars' funding? Oh, I wouldn't mind raising up C either.
But hang on. What counts? Baron, stop! Don't vote for A! I don't want to construct the observatory! The grandees hate the observatory!
Barons, remember what the counts did to you as you start wildly pointing at all of the dead barons that disappeared in the eastern lands.
If this is some ploy of theirs, wouldn't you want to know?
And we'd only be able to find out if we investigate the funding of the scholar. And Ready Play Clay. Hello. Welcome. Yes, I do.
Well,
You've got yourself another 50-50 vote here. Which means I spit on the barons and the scholars up here. The scholarly counts. I forbid the construction, and we're going to go look into what exactly is funding these scholars. A thorough investigation quickly unearths the truth. The scholar's patron is none other than the Count Plaz.
Plaz! I knew it!
Hold on a moment. This was never meant to be, a secret to begin with. All my accounts are public. Brad Shift is just paranoid of a conspiracy. This observatory could advance our knowledge of the stars by hundreds of years. Is it a crime to fund the sciences now?
Yes, actually, off with his head!
No, but you've got to stop infringing on the grandees' religious freedoms. You're right, we should allow the observatory to go ahead after all. Alright, my stability is already terrible here at 2 right now, and this would be a way to garner some additional faith, so, Plaz, come over here. No, a few steps more. Yeah, right there is perfect, actually. Hang on, let me just, pick up an axe. Don't move! Whoosh! Plaz's mouth is agape as he's dragged away. Even Grandee Breadshift looks shocked. My authority increases. Everybody's defiance increases. And now? The Grandees are a little bit more faithful, though. No one dares mention observatories, and a number of paranoid nobles start smashing their telescopes for fear of reprisal. The stars will remain a mystery for now. Count Plaz has died.
Plaz the second, their offspring, now joining the council instead. Their child. Whoa, faith!
And whoa, defiance. That means the counts have a high enough defiance level where they could start rebelling. For now, the season is over. If the ninth wished for us to know of the stars, they would tell us so. Exactly, Fox. If the ninth up there said, hey, you should give a little exploration of my lands, they would send us signs, and they hadn't done so far.
Counts, rise up!
The barons and the grandees still outnumber your armies. They 10-to-5 proportion right here. While the queen settles into her young reign, a general has risen in the march, the indomitable Baron Luca. Ah, fantastic news, General. Not only have we destabilized the kingdom, we've drummed up recruitment amidst the chaos. The kingdom is in such a state that commoners are begging for someone to save them. All we need is a suitable boogeyman to get them really riled up.
Aha! The Ashmedan Empire will do, I should think.
After all, they've always coveted our lands, especially in the March. And how would our dear queen stop them with the kingdom in such a state?
It's not stable! Who built these platforms that we're on? It's wobbly! Can someone at least put a book under one of the legs? That'll help, for a little while at least.
You bastard! If not for us, the stability would not be nearly this low. And here I thought we had some kind of alliance. Don't trust other nobles. Your alliance is just as unstable as my kingdom. On shaky grounds. Just the littlest bump will send everything toppling. Good thinking, General. While your campaign warns of the Ashmedan threat and proposes a march or defense, we will build an army to back your words.
For the next stage of the Baron scheme, their stat goal is to have the highest military.
That's a check mark right there. Oops. That's easy. Done. It would only be more difficult if we had the Northerners here, I think.
In a tiny village to the east, two counts meet in a derelict tavern.
No one even dares to glance in their direction. Another priest left my estate today. He said there was no sense preaching to the truly lost.
I've heard the same across the east. We're no longer trapped under the church's thumb.
Now we must not falter. If the queen grows proud, we can offer her the ultimate reward. Immortality. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must raise authority to 5 or more in 4 seasons.
Well, that sounds like it's another check mark incomplete.
Oh! And the Goon Corps, hello, welcome. And now it's time for a new type of law that I can enact. Setting stop the count to be lower, treasury, gambling, or anonymous voting. How nobles choose to vote is in for the monarch's view. Not great here. Stop the count. It would be kind of funny. People would have to vote more frantically. But gambling! Everybody's already becoming quite defiant. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna start betting on your votes here. I've got a little bit of money this time. I'm doing it. And look at that. Counts being on the verge of rebellion. Is it too late to play? Nope. All you have to do, which I did see you put in earlier, Emily. Though I am looking around. Yep, there you are, right there. See, your account. And what the hell? Why are there so many counts in here? Completely overloaded? Jesus. It could be that there's a larger proportion of inactive and non-voting counts, so it keeps on loading up extra people. You don't know how the game decides to add more people. It's possible that behind the scenes, that they kind of determine about the last time somebody has voted in chat, and as a result, it kind of goes, well, it seems like a bunch of people have gone inactive. So, as a result, we'll go ahead and put more people into the count roll. So if the counts who are here are just mostly lurking and not voting, I wonder if that could be part of it.
I went inactive for a few votes.
What would be interesting is if you could intentionally manipulate it to do a little bit of a test and say, we're going to play the long game. We're not going to vote for the first couple of rounds. We're going to let our group get a bunch more players in here, and then we all just start voting, and we win every time, everything easily, because there's just more people here in our region. Well, for now, you're over. And now, counts. You do have the option of rebelling. If you want to take that route, you can try, but it does mean you will put your scheme on hold. If you think you're progressing well with your schemes, it might not be of benefit for you to rebel.
Barons, we actually need to be unified against the counts.
You're gonna say that, and then you're just going to, abandon each other in the end.
If we don't work together, there's a good chance we won't be able to beat them in a vote.
Well, again, it depends on how many counts are actually voting. They might be busy over there, sitting around, sipping on some blood. Your wedding to Gloria is, naturally, the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Gloria at your side. Do you take this woman to be as your lawfully wedded wife?
Yeah, I do.
Then I pronounce you queen and wife.
Sheesh, why do we rebel if we're 2 million from the weakest, or 2 military from the weakest?
Yeah. I mean, there's only 3 though, so... not much to compete against. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast. And after the feast, a dance. Your new wife, Gloria, dances so vigorously that she spills wine all over herself.
Fortunately, because of the color she's wearing, you can't even tell. I don't know about politics. I will vote with my heart.
And since you were a count over here, it might be voting for the blood option. Oh god, is it the plague again?
From the dancing! Oh no, is it the plague again?
Is it the plague? Everyone starts panicking.
But everyone's defiance drops down,
and I become more authoritative. I'm ruling with an iron fist. By the time you find yourself alone with Gloria, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. Good God, I am so drunk! And yet somehow not drunk enough! Whose arse do I need to kick to get more wine?
How are you Servants! My wife wants more wine, and honestly, I just want her to leave me alone. So get her more drunk and maybe she'll pass out.
That's the spirit.
Spirit? Like spirits? Like alcohol?
My lord, everyone in the court has started flossing.
Who started spreading this dance cringe? Go back to the classic. Where are the robots? Go back even further. Charleston, where?
What do you do in your spare time? What do you think of the wedding? I think we should sleep in separate bed chambers for now. I look at Gloria, drinking, getting absolutely wasted. I don't really want you to throw up all over me. Then the last one, though. Shall we go to bed together? Yeah? I wink at my wife? Even further back, why is nobody doing the twist? Yeah! Together? Nodding. My geez, okay, Slime, I'll take your advice. No time like the present, eh? She starts elbowing me in the side. She swigs back the last dregs of her wine and leads you to bed. Hell yeah, we're gonna make an heir. Uh-oh. Low on lumber? Are you wasting all of the Wait, hang on, and then? Huh? Sorry, fade to black. Your Majesty, will you tell these superstitious barons to get over themselves and let us harvest their trees? We need the wood for our crafts, people. I've told you 1,000 times, Count. That forest is thoroughly haunted. You'll damn us all if you go logging there. We had this event with the Northerners once upon a time. But you sold us a logging contract, and said contract has no exclusions for hunting. Your Grace, the barons cannot be allowed to wiggle out of their commitments. We're counts. Some of our best friends are ghosts.
Yeah, but then you should know that you don't want to make a ghost upset,
Otherwise, it will haunt you for eons. So, the counts have a contract and may go logging, or do we let them harvest the lumber, but share the proceeds with the barons? Turn the forest into a joint Eastern Marcher hunting reserve, or fence the area off and make sure no one goes near it? A contract is a contract. Why do they sell a contract just to go back on their word? Money? They're scamming them, essentially. They don't really care whether the counts could actually, use their land or not. They just wanted the money for that sale. I say we force the barons to make the ghosts mad.
I demand logs. Huge one.
Well, I'm putting out your vote abilities.
You'll be hearing from our lawyers.
Please, they've got a contract. They're gonna log. The counts cross their arms angrily. The grandees, however, say, what if they worked together? What if they did it between the two of them? You just want to become more defiant. Stop trying to make them more defiant. We're getting along so well right now. I guess the counts aren't, but... Jesse says, however, fence off the area, make sure no one gets near it. You're getting upset with Jesse, but I think they're just afraid of the ghosts, right? They know the repercussions of what happens when you mess with ghosts. However, it's pretty obvious the counts up here all voting and saying, nah. No. We're chopping the trees.
Come on, dude. The trees, they are scary. I'm afraid of them.
You elf.
Yeah, I might be part elf, but they're trees. They're still frightening.
Some of my best friends are trees. And yet, the counts are gonna go chop them down anyway. You can't stop them. The trade succeed. The trade challenge did succeed too, and that was what, 30% chance? With the council's express permission, hundreds of eastern lumberjacks rush into the haunted forest and gleefully cut it down. A legion of carts, wagons, and boats transport the lumber back to the east to be used in carpentry, construction, and cabinet making. What were the barons so afraid of anyway? So the east becoming less defiant and their trade going up. Will the trees not rise up? Because I remember the last time we did that event, it turned out all of those trees were alive. Hordling attack? What the heck is a hordling?
Your Highness, I'm ruined. Hordlings have occupied my vineyard and driven my staff away.
Huh? What's a hordling? Grubby little creatures like fat, green babies with claws. Hard to kill. Fire's the only way to get rid of them permanently. So, a tiny goblin situation? And there's tons of them. It sounds like just goblins. Hordling these nuts. Thank you, Lawless. Can always count on you.
Whatever you do, we should do it soon. They're eating all of my grapes.
Oh, not the grapes. Well, how are they supposed to make their wine then?
I will assemble the council then.
Oh.
Ninth bless you, your highness.
Burn the vineyard with hordlings inside. I go, I'll help you. And I set everything on fire. Strong arm the other grandees into sending military help. Hire an adventurer from the guild to investigate. Make the goblins work the vineyard?
Vote C, fellow grandees!
Hey, it's coming out of my pocket. Hell yeah, I gamble. Pay, money, get rid of them. We're gonna get an adventurer out here. We're gonna clean it up. We're not going to just burn the hordlings over here. Do not set fire to it. Stop that. Don't do it. I'm watching you. Start my vote. It's always good to support your local adventurers. Yeah, support the little guys that are out here trying their best to go out on big adventures. Imagine you've just received a quest and then you're not hired in the end because they've changed their mind. They rescind their want to hire you.
Don't burn the vineyard! Stop! Barons and counts opting for this? No!
But dude, the vineyard, they're grapes. By the way, Ecstatic Carson, hello and welcome. Poor jurists. They're having their vineyards all burned.
But I want to be evil to the grandees.
Oh. Well, there's the voting.
I don't want your disgusting goblin grapes.
Oh. But everybody loves the Grandees wine. They're tainted now?
What? No! That vineyard is my livelihood!
But a hordling infestation is no single person's problem. If they were to spread, they could ruin homes and businesses across the South. The vineyard, and half the hillside with it, is lit up like the sun, decreasing trade and decreasing farming. And, sorry, jurist, there goes all your money. That was your vineyard. That was all you've done for generations. It was a vineyard that has been passed down amongst your family. It's been a family business for so long, and now, just like that, gone in the blink of an eye.
By the way, hello back to you, and thanks for saying hi and welcome to me.
Of course, I usher you in. Once Grand Jurist's wealth goes up in smoke, it's not long before he's turned to begging on the streets of Aranjar. Poor Jurist. We're gonna have to give him a pickaxe and send him to the mines, where all the good jurists work. I guess it's just really his fate to fail in the vineyard. We end the season. It's jurist just like in Dwarf Fortress. I am going to do a little bit of a pause right here, and we're going to take a bathroom break. So, if you're thirsty at all, if you need to go to the bathroom, if you want to stand up and stretch for a moment, now is your time. Go grab a snack. For those who are going to continue to sit and wait, you've got this art you can look at and enjoy. I'm going to play an ad at the meantime, so don't worry, you won't be missing anything because we're on just a break right here, and I eliminate pre-rolls for an hour, so
I'll be right back, everybody, don't worry.
I declare a national holiday.
What's the occasion?
Great Goblin Barbecue.
I'm back, and I see we've gotten raided by Fuzzy. Fuzzy! I hope you had a good stream! Assuming, of course, that you're continuing to build and work on one of your little scale models. You should check out Fuzzy if you like small constructions. Little houses being built, that's what Fuzzy does, and she's great. I recommend. I have lurked in her streams before. Recommended. And by the way, Welly, thank you for doing the shoutout command for her. And now that I'm back, the extension is being weird. You don't have to rejoin. You should stay, whether you're present here or not, Emily. So even if you were to completely leave, you'll still be listed and be able to participate in all the votes. You can see here, as I switch over back to the game, and I pop out the noble list. There you are. You haven't gone anywhere, so don't worry. If you leave and come back, you'd still be there. I also noticed how it has new nobles automatically join the regions with the fewest active players, which may make them appear imbalanced. Which is why, again, it looks like the counts are heavy, because it goes on the active players, not the number of people here. I don't get to see my stuffs in the extension. Potentially, if you maybe have something turned on that could be blocking the extension, or maybe just refreshing would help. Unsure. Alright, season's over. The Count's having the worst of it right now because they have to wait 3 seasons for their next scheme phase. Whereas the other guys got just 2. Rising tempers! Ah, my wife. Ah, Queen Cacophony. I have something I need to discuss with you. I've been touring the grounds and speaking with your officers. A lot of wasted potential, if you ask me. Make me a general in the royal army, and I'll whip them into shape. It could turn the tide of war one day. If I say yeah, it's bad for my authority. But then again, isn't this why you married her? Kinda, yeah. I did say, damn, she looks powerful. So I'm gonna go ahead and, let her take charge. By the way, ready, Player Clay? Thank you for following. And Emily, thank you for the bits from earlier. While I had gotten up to go use the restroom. Huzzah! I'll have them up to snuff in no time. Despite your other generals' grumblings, you hold a lavish ceremony in which Gloria is decorated with a number of meaningless medals and given a fancy new sword as a badge of office. A new sword, wow! Gloria is so cool. And Ecstatic Carson, thank you for following as well. But to no one's surprise, not much changes over the coming weeks. If anything, Gloria is out of her depth. What? But I thought she was a powerful warrior wife. Now we have panic in the council. Is it because the counts are feeling defiant? Your Holiness, I bring bad news from the south. We are receiving reports of— Oh, please, I'm sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings from the march that demand the Queen's attention at once.
Wait your turn, you ignorant dolt!
So hostile. I guess my kingdom isn't very stable, so it makes sense that nobody's really getting along. Please, why don't you settle your quarrel outside? Meanwhile, I have news from the east that is really urgent.
Oh, please, now! One at a time? The cities of the south are being consumed with riots on a weekly basis. Our citizens want to overthrow the queen and elect a more competent ruler.
Is that all? By the 9th, order in the march is broken down, my liege. Some battalions have killed their own officers and begun roaming the wilderness, acting like common bandits. The grandees are only not having that issue because they're more honorable than these barons are. Please, my news is worse still. The eastern courts are corrupt, your majesty. Judges are letting off the vilest criminals in return for the slightest bit of coin. All of these problems have arisen because the kingdom is increasingly unstable, Your Majesty. Something must be done.
Oh, I agree. You take care of it, Chancellor. Make sure these issues are dealt with.
Well, unfortunately, we lack the resources to tackle all of these problems at once. We must vote on which matter to prioritize. And call me Duck. Lol. Hello, and welcome. So we could restore order in the cities of the south, hunt down the outlaws and deserters in the march, or reform the eastern courts. What do we opt for? They will all increase our stability. Top's gonna decrease faith. X is gonna increase defiance. Really, all of the defiance is going to change, probably being the case that whoever you choose to help will decrease defiance and everybody else will increase. But with the faith decreasing up there at the top, I'm just gonna say that we're not going to help the South. I'm sorry, Southerners, but I don't know why we want to take the option that decreases the faith when I want that to be high, which honestly, the grandees are in the South. They would kind of want that too.
What? I just agreed I would help them. You know, since the grandees, since I burned the vineyards.
And you would think that I would want to help them too, seeing as I'm on the side of faith, but if that decreases my faith score, like, what the heck? Nope, I'm vetoing that.
If you want to help us, vote B.
And so, we start hunting down the outlaws and deserters in the march. Not ideal for the counts. Really, anyway, I suppose the counts probably are not going to want to try to rebel, because their military isn't the strongest. They'd be beaten up by the barons, and they're doing so well with their schemes.
Totally not trying to decrease their military, haha.
And then that's what you do. Knocking them down a peg. Whee! Thanks to a helpful snitch, your marshal discovers the locations of all the outlaws' hideouts in the march. Over the next month, the deserters are subjected to swift public trials, followed by even swifter public executions. The army is depleted, but much more disciplined. The crisis in the march has been squashed, making the kingdom as a whole slightly more stable. But the nobles of other regions feels that you've been ignoring their problems. So, the other regions, increasing on defiance, counts in particular very angry there. Everybody increases by 2. Really, everything that's increasing is going up by 2. Just becomes more significant with the counts, because they're so goddamn high. By the 9th, only 3 voting grandees.
They sure are getting sparse over there, huh? Oh no! A plague of rats!
Count Chauncey Bell strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. The fields and barns of the east are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore. Typical counts with their rats? Probably because they were raising them as pets, and then a couple of people said, I don't want to take care of these rats anymore, and then released them into the wild. Some of my best friends are rats! I wouldn't doubt it, but that doesn't mean everybody follows proper care of rats. Are we going to take the rat and go? The East can handle this alone. Deliver a supply of rat poison, killing the rats? Or do we send them a shipment of cats? Do we hire some adventurers to clear out the rodents? Really, most of these options are going to make you lose your rat friends in the end. But with number C, you do get cats. John, hello and welcome.
The rats did nothing wrong.
You're right, but they are eating all of the food. which is a problem for these counts. They don't want to lose out on all of their crops, you know?
But hello there, John. Hi.
Making a royal gamble on the cats. Get the cats. Get the cats. Imagine if one day you could even use science to mutate and breed them to make them giant cats.
And then you could ride on the giant cats. Yeah! What the frick? Green Laban over here going just, no! Kill them. Poison the rats!
Stop. At least in the cat situation, you can be happy knowing that the cats will be well fed. At least there's a circle of life situation happening and you're not just killing the rats completely. The better question is, why aren't my fellow barons thinking of cats? Well, we got John up here going, dude, not our problem. Next one going, dude, just kill the rats, poison them, get rid of them that way. And then the grandees, mostly, there is one that's probably selling the cats here. They're the cat supplier, looking around, pushing their cats forward, saying, yeah, take the litter.
Can't just kill the rats, that's crazy!
So you just let them run wild? That's not much of a solution either. Dogs won't eat you in your sleep.
The cats will?
I forgot to vote, I was too busy looking at rat emotes. That's fine, I think this cat vote was the highest voted on anyway. And so, my treasury stays at the same level, increasing by 500 and then decreasing. Basically, we gambled in order to buy the cat. Count Chauncey Bell bows to you deeply. I can't thank you enough, your grace. You send a caravan of cats over to the east. By the time they reach their destination, they're both hungry and very angry. The perfect rat-catching mindset. I grab the die. Here we go. Soon the rats are gone. A following springs up around one particularly successful mouser whose nickname is the Colonel, and a bronze statue is put up on his honor. We succeeded the challenge. Your defiance dropping, which means now you've also got a big bronze cat statue. Yeah! Oh, hail the Colonel! Bronze cat statue, get! And that means whenever you go out on your daily walk or your weekly walk, your little occasional stroll when you write your poetry and admire the night and the bats flittering around in the air, you can pause at the Colonel statue and give it a little pet and then continue on. Cats will even handle roach problems if you have enough cats. Go, cat, go! Sounds like a heretical cat cult to me. If we're picking between the counts going heretical regardless, I feel like cats are at least a more fun route to go for cult. The Colonel Whiskers. He greatly enjoys sunning himself beside the statue, and the townspeople bring him dried fish for luck. Whether or not the gifts affect the town's fortunes remain to be seen, but he is a very happy cat indeed. Oh, everybody loves the Colonel. Colonel Best Cat. That's the end of the season. Which means it's time! It's time to auction up for one of the buildings in your different regions here. You can build up a fortress for additional military. You can build up a library for additional stability. You can build a monument over here in the Count's lands for additional authority, a stadium for less military, a cathedral over here at the Grandees for additional faith, or a theater for a loss in authority. Now, technically, the Grandees would want the faith cathedral, though they do have enough of a faith total anyway. The Barons would want the fortress built up. Nobody cares about stability in particular right now. And maybe building a stadium could also be beneficial, so you don't have to worry about the counts trying to rebel or anything. There's a couple of different choices you can make. Though right now you can see that the barons at the moment are very well off. A lot of rich noble barons over here. Funding? How does funding work? The top 2 buildings with the highest funded amount will be built. You choose based upon the letter and the amount you want to fund for. But it doesn't start until I hit start auction, and it also works as a hard timer cutoff. The moment that 60 seconds are up, boom, that's it. The top 2 buildings are the ones constructed. So, the auction begins. Cast your money into the buckets. They sit outside the different labels, the different little sections.
What do you want to try to build?
Right now, the highest funding amounts are fortress, monument, cathedral. But the top 2 are the fortress and the monument. That means the cathedral right now is losing if you were wanting to build. Oh, but wait, stadium over with the counts did suddenly get big vote put in for it, beating out the counts attempt at monument right now. Though recall counts, you do want authority to be up. Maybe you want to increase it a little bit more in case somebody knocks it down a peg. Maybe try not to lose too much more at that. Unless other regions are coming in trying to reduce your military power. But time's up. The 2 structures that have been built are the fortress for the barons, getting their military up higher, and the stadium for the counts, decreasing their military. And you can also see who funded the most money over here. I like it's both Otter and Jasarl II. Those dang kids. Spending all of their money. Alright, rebellion report. We're not quite there yet. Well, barons and grandees aren't quite there yet, but the counts can rebel if they want to. But I don't think they still need to. I'm pretty sure you guys only needed a 6 for authority and able to make it past. Now, about my heir. Your marriage to Gloria has grown strong and steady, like an old castle wall. Though it began as a political arrangement, it's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. I am very happy now, thank you. You know what, Mom? Mom, you were right. Marriage isn't so bad. I do have a lot of fun every now and again. Your happiness isn't as important as fulfilling your duties to the kingdom, but I am glad you found a way to have both. You've done well so far, but something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young, whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. I'm just have a kid with my... You know what? Break it. This is the last time I'm playing King of the Castle. I have chosen my wife and child, or making a child with wife or husband every time. This time, I'm going to try a different course. I might have... I think this one in particular is funny. I, as queen. You know, I remember giving birth at some point in time, then I just kind of tossed them out to the wind, so they're just probably still hanging around, right? They probably haven't died yet, huh?
Your mom doesn't even look like you. She's an imposter.
Nah, if you pulled her kind of head covering back, you would see we would have the exact same hair situation going on. I think I've popped out a few, right? I have to have. I remember it. It was all a blur, but it happened. I remember the pain. Barons only support a true blood heir, not some lowborn child. It's alright, the church won't be happy? I had no idea that this would make them upset. God dang it, my faith. But they're just as keen to avoid a civil war as we are. They'll legitimize the bastard without much fuss. I will meet with the Archbishop tomorrow. My saintlyhood! I guess that makes sense. I should kind of have considered that. But then again, I don't know everything that the ninth cares for. And now that I'm looking around in my kitchen drawers, we're missing spoons. You aren't hiding spoons from me, are you? It's not funny. I've noticed that too, actually. Well, if you're not playing a prank, then someone is. We should teach them a lesson. Okay, we can lock the spoons up. We put spoons into jail. Search the castle. We have to figure out who's responsible. Or do we just throw away the rest of the spoons out of spite? If someone's gonna go around pranking us, we're gonna show them what for by saying, hey, spoons are gone. The spoon prison. You're stealing spoons from the daughter of the march? Slime hiding a spoon behind their back, saying no. It does suck when the game doesn't show you what goes up and down for specific choices. It is unfortunate, but simultaneously, I'm not mad about it because then it does add a little bit of extra fun of seeing what's gonna happen. You know, I pick choice and go, what? It's this thing? Totally shocked. You think we should just search for the vile prankster? Spoons are a gift from the ninth god. Konkordsky, however, over there is waiting by the garbage can, waiting for me to dump out the rest of the spoons so they can take them. Ah yes, the Dwarf Fortress version of fun. Precisely! Alright, we search the castle. But we don't find any spoons! We search up and down, any trace, but find nothing! Spoons continue to go missing. You forbid the cook from preparing liquid meals, lest you've seen slurping from the bowl. My authority! That's bad for the counts! Counts, do something! Ha ha. No! Grandee comes in. Call me Duck. I bet they stole the spoons. Someone stop that armoire! Just as you're on your way to the council hall, an antique cabinet runs past you at blinding speed. Grandee Call Me Duck Lol follows in close pursuit. I have spoons. A cabinet full of spoons. Oh, greetings, Your Highness. I'm having some trouble with my furniture. The haunted wood from the ghost forest! Huh, I wonder how that could have happened. Why, I bought it from Count Dagooncore just last week. Of course, today I hear this has been happening to all of that scoundrel's merchandise. Puh! I warned that good-for-nothing filcher. The woods they chopped down was an ancient hardwood grove. The trees were alive. They still are. We warned you! Please, Your Highness, the council must step in. Well, we can't perform an ancient marcher ritual to purge the spirits. I guess we would maybe need additional faith or some additional event in order for that to be successful. Maybe even lower faith? I'm not entirely sure what would unlock this. So our only options are to arrest Count Dagooncore and throw out all Eastern furniture. Or just chain everything to the floor from now on. I think we should go for A. Seems like the right move. I don't know, I think we should arrest the Count. Chain everything to the floor. Huh. Chain everything to the floor is awfully funny. That is the funny choice. We should arrest the barons. That baron, that is just one. Actually, that isn't the baron at all. That's the count. That's a count you're arresting. So you're not going to do any punishment to the barons, which means If you think it was the Baron's fault and not the Count, don't arrest the Count. They're just acting on their contract, which they expected they would have been able to fulfill without any issue. I'm gambling on chaining. The vote begins. They're still selling this furniture. That's on them. We already warned them about the woods.
What? Just chain them to the floor. It's fine. Oh my god, everybody's voting for option A anyway. Counts, come on. Just tell them to chain the furniture. Do you really want one of your fellow counts to be thrown away and arrested? Huh? This is your opportunity to vote, or else A will just win. Come on, counts. You had high numbers. You could win. You could totally win if just everybody there was active. Oh.
How am I gonna chain spoons? Tiny chain, like necklace or watch chains. Think about that. Just chain the spoons that way.
Us grandees and barons are in agreement to those Easterners.
Oh. Why don't you intentionally end the count at a tie so you can pick the one I want?
Because I gotta give all of the nobles a chance to vote.
But they did have plenty of time. It still continued being a tie. So, yeah, dude. Chain it to the tables.
And now I get my extra money, as I pull 500 wealth over to me.
And Phil, hello, welcome. You order all errant furniture caught and chained down. Opportunists and aspiring closet catchers spring up overnight, offering their services to the nobles. The wealth for everybody, or some of them anyway, decreasing.
What the fuck? I'm not a count anymore.
What'd you end up as? Right there? Oh, yeah, you're a grandee this time. Congratulations. You're on the side of faith.
God damn my money.
Just as I join, I lose 150 gold. I guess you should have waited, what, 2 seconds? And then you could have been richer than everybody else. Thank God we don't need more counts.
Yeah.
You look at the big list of them.
Alright, we continue.
Here's your end table, your majesty. A blighter almost ran off a cliff trying to get away,
but I managed to catch it in my snare in the end.
Unfortunately, the furniture never stops trying to escape, rattling and shaking even when restrained. Some nobles report hearing voices from their new sofas. In the end, everything must be destroyed.
My authority!
Hell, I'm sorry, counts. That's not good for you. We need to bring up the authority, not decrease it. Now everyone's becoming more defiant.
And even more wealth is decreasing. What the fuck? I just keep losing more gold.
The March in the South will remember this. I think the counts will too. Oh, season over. Yep, that's all my money. Completely broke. And all because the Baron sold a bad contract. Across the kingdom, commoners and nobles alike are now turning to General Luca, who promises to rescue them from the Queen's weak rule. There are daily parades in the General's honor. A cult of personality begins to form. Andy Marin, thank you for following. Commoners are signing up in droves to fight for Luca. Their popularity far eclipses the Queen's, increasing military. In the Grand Hall of Baroness Mimi the Cursed's castle, a number of figures are hunched around the hearth, plotting away. Soon the Baron will beg us to dispose our pathetic queen.
The general is in place. It's time for the final blow. What's next?
Last one. Raise everybody else's defiance, or enact a swift and brutal ballot coup. Honestly, both of these situations aren't bad for you. Though with the coup, second option, that would be fighting against the Count's authority desire to have that increase. So it might be a little bit easier, especially when they're Defiance. Really, the Counts are already really high up right there. Wait, hold up. When did we lose all authority? Well, when we had the spoon situation, and then we just had those pieces of furniture running around. So yeah, Defiant seems like the easier choice. Alright, voting is closed. Choosing to raise everybody's defiance. A civil war? How delectable. Of course, we must make sure the other nobles are suitably enraged. We can't be seen to have started the whole thing. A simple task. The other regions are eager for another excuse to hate the queen. We just need to give them a push. And that's when the general will swoop in to save the kingdom from itself. Ingenious, if I do say so. For the final stage of their scheme, the barons must raise other regions' defiance to a combined total of at least 15, or ensure another region begins a rebellion. Which means Counts! Oh, Counts! If you rebel, you're going to hand it in to the barons just straight up automatically. Because right now, you do not have a combined total of 15. You need 2 more points to hit that goal, whether it's both the Counts or it's both the Grandees. Either situation, we don't want to rebel. Keep it that way. Da-da-da-da. Deep in the south, a group of Grandees watch silently as a blindfolded Grandee Konkordsky tries to stab a portrait of Queen Cacophony with a wooden stake. With a wooden stake, but I'm not a vampire! He did this at my granddaughter's 4th birthday with the drawing of a pig. Finally, Grandee Konkordsky hits his mark, and cheers erupt in the secluded villa. Friends, honored guests, people of the faith, the 9th god has spoken. Now begins the final stage of our plan, excommunication. Only one question remains. For which sin will the archbishop excommunicate the queen? I look over at the fact that I picked, hey, put in a bastard son as the heir, or bastard daughter, or bastard child. Going to say if you sell a bomb disguised as, say, a pie, it's not the pie reseller's fault if it blows up. Pie reseller? I had no idea that the pie maker was making them as pies. Oh, the barons deserve to be strung up outside the castle for their toes for selling haunted wood. Hey, we told you it was haunted, but not before they purchased the contract. You said it afterwards. Imagine you buy the pies, and then you're told the pie is actually a bomb. Right? You've already got the pie. Why did you sell the pie if I can't eat the pie? Alright, then, Grandees. For tyranny and abuse of power, the oppressive rule of a dictator, raising authority, or for greed and avarice, hoarding money that could be used to improve the peasant's lot. Raising my treasury. So you need to find ways to give me or make me get more money? I'll continue my gambling streak, thus baiting you in for more times to make the I'm gambling votes win. And, alright. Is there any other Grandee that wants to throw in a vote here? There are additional Grandees around. They're all listed here. Are only 3 of you making a decision? If so, that's fine, but... for now. Is that all? Alright, I continue then. gonna go for the raise my treasury option.
It shall be done. We must now ensure that the queen is seen as a greedy pig.
For the final stage of our scheme, we must raise the treasury to at least 3,900. That's crazy! This is when I need to get, spend all of my money, and then have the print money option. Then you'd make it there. Look at the queen just printing a bunch of extra cash off. That means I actually want to do big tax bet to help you guys out, which would also help the barons out simultaneously. It doesn't seem like much, but I feel like there isn't much to raise money. You should tax the barons, honestly? Technically, going for the barons would be the safest, raising their defiance, because they don't need their defiance to be higher. But I kind of want to do I like having the equal race between the different regions. However, defiance is always the stat that's easiest to change. So I will opt for helping out the grandees by getting additional money in my banks, while not making it that much easier for the barons. Because between increasing authority, increasing treasury, and increasing defiance, getting defiance up is easy as hell. I'm going to tax the barons. Money in my pocket goes ching ching ching. And then we end the season. Of course, now the counts and grandees can both rebel. But again, if you guys rebel, then oops, the barons win. Wait, trouble in the sewers? The rats? I thought we had cats take care of this problem. Your Majesty, there is a horde of hordlings in the sewers beneath the capital. They're the ones who have been stealing our spoons. And not just the queen's spoons either, but the whole city's. Our spoons! I can't believe my pancake business is being suppressed by tax increases. And I keep doing it too. Do we send in the Queen's Honor Guard to try to root them out? Do we use toxic gas to fumigate the sewers?
Maybe not that one that decreases the treasury.
We block off the sewers and leave the hordlings down there. I want to know what happens if we send in our Honor Guard. If we just block off the sewers, then the hordlings are going to be a continuous problem, yeah? Let's get the top. Our nuns can take those hordlings.
Send the battle nuns!
Battle nuns, go! Gas the spoon thieves. Of course, anyone who isn't grandees wouldn't want to opt for option A, and maybe more interested in the other two options. But come on, guys. I sit on the edge of my seat. If I continue fast enough, it'll make it so that A wins. We're going to... Oh! Aha! Oh, man. For a second there, it was tied, and I could have just voted to make A win. But at the last moment, we had a fourth vote. This is sometimes why you gotta vote fast, is because I can end it right when the timer's out. And Melody, hello, welcome. Queen, Caco says, let them eat soup! Even though they don't have any spoons to use. The Honor Guard march dutifully into the stench-ridden tunnels. But if it doesn't go well... it doesn't go well. Hours later, only one returns, rambling wildly and clearly on death's door. My battle nuns failed! At least the hordlings are gone, Your Majesty. I'm sure you'll find a new honor guard in time. Behind him, the last of your former bodyguards expires with a gurgle. My battle nuns. I'm sad now. I loved my battle nuns. Quick, let's capture the queen while she has no honor guard. Hang on, wait a second. Are the barons mad at me for taxing them?
Your Majesty, help us. Baron Ecstatic Carson of the March has been bleeding us dry, yes?
Not literally, I hope.
No. I'm making use of a common idiom, Your Majesty. Our taxes are 10 times higher than they've ever been. I can't even afford to feed my cows.
It's true, Your Majesty. Baron Ecstatic Carson has been taxing his peasants at least twice as much as the next highest noble. Ecstatic Carson, what are you doing? Are you trying to make some easy money by raising taxes? Totally not something I was doing myself to you guys. Are you trying to raise taxes because I'm raising taxes on you? And by the way, Sick, hello, welcome.
Carson, 10 times the tax rate might be a little bit much.
Please, it's been a hard year, my liege. I've barely any gold in my vault. I've just been doing what I can to stay afloat. What about the poor peasants' cows? This is a matter for the council's consideration. You're clearly having a hard time. I'll let you off. I check Ecstatic Carson over here with only 200 gold in their pocket.
It has been hard. The third choice. Please just let me off.
We're going to make those barons pay for selling haunted wood. All of the other times, I always look for the council's vote. Why would I make an exception here? I have to bring it to the council. I hold him up. We can throw Baron Ecstatic Carson into the dungeon to teach him a lesson. We can allow Baron Ecstatic Carson to keep overtaxing his peasants. Or we can have a royal tax collector overtax duties in the march. So, new royal tax collector collecting, increasing defiance, increasing treasury, but decreasing his wealth. If we allow him to keep overtaxing, he'll get wealthier, and the Baron's defiance and farming will go down. But if we throw Baron Ecstatic Carson into the dungeon, it will increase their defiance, of course, my authority, which is what the counts want, and decrease his wealth. What are you going to do then, I'm looking. Do I want to veto any of these options? The last one is pretty good for me because I get some additional treasury. The grandees also like that option because they want me to be richer. With option A, though, that is something the counts would want because it increases authority and I still need that to be higher. These all bring them closer to a win state. Huh? And make your vote then. I slide it out forward.
Option B, please,
says Ecstatic Carson.
Of course he wants to be able to keep taxing him over here. But Queen, you also want higher authority to stave off rebellion.
While true, if either of them rebel, that means it's just a straight win for the Barons. The Barons want the other territories to rebel. They win if that's the case. Wow, the Grandees I thought would back the counts. No, because they want my treasury pockets to be fuller. You see that? That's not high enough. They need that to be, what was it, 3,900? Barely no counts last few votes. The vampires staying sealed in their coffins. It's too early to wake up. They can't make it to the council to vote.
My money!
At least it's not throwing you into the dungeon, Carson. No, it's not like you could go negative on wealth, I say as I look over at your 200 coin. Voting is closed.
But our money!
You want me to be wealthier, and the money that's being lost here is really just on one. I think anyway? By the 9th, tax collection has been our duty since the days of old. Why should the rest of us be punished because of Baron Ecstatic Carson's mistakes?
Everyone's mad!
The royal tax collector proves to be diligent and efficient. But the barons are outraged at the implication that they can't be trusted. Well, alright, I was wrong. It does decrease a bunch of the barons' money. Oops, your pockets are a little bit lighter now. We've got one more event around here. Aha! City in Flames down here at the south. We need to find a way to get the queen to spend money. I look at the City in Flames. This might be an excellent opportunity if you want me to spend cash, because burned buildings mean money reconstruction to pay for. The barons can't be trusted. They sell haunted woods. Don't listen to what they say. Counts rebel before grandees win. It's your only chance. The grandees win? Look over to the barons. If you rebel, that's something that the barons want, though. Their options were raising defiance or getting someone else to rebel. Nice try, Baron! Point at them going, it's your only chance. Yeah, huh? You're a baron over there. I know it. You're trying to trick us. Your Highness, there's been a terrible fire in the city of Serena. Where once there were buildings, there's now a fire of smoldering ash. Dozens of peasants have died. I look at the fire. I look at the red, burning king. Did you do this? Were you trying to show off how you totally rule over fire and then things got a little bit out of hand? The fire started spreading. You were trying to do a couple of cool fire tricks at first. Your hand slipped and whoosh! There goes that building up in flames because it was only made out of straw. A big bad wolf situation here. Don't they need everyone to rebel, not just one? I think it did sound like just one of the regions needed to rebel in order for the barons to be successful. And even then, if either of them wanted to rebel, they would really need to team up to fight against the barons' military because they're so strong. Oh, geez, what caused this fire? Well, filled with religious conviction, the townsfolk seized a traveling wizard and attempted to burn him at the stake for practicing dark magic. I swear it wasn't because I was trying to show off my fire-throwing skills, fire dancing, fire painting, fire woodworking, just a big bonfire even. I just like making big fires too. That is something I enjoy. It makes really good s'mores that way. Higher temperature, great, perfectly cooked marshmallows. Oh, have you had a s'more recently? It's really tasty. He walked out of the city unharmed. Same cannot be said for those who tried to burn him. Well, I guess this is why you never tangle with wizards. Well, I was hoping that the council might unlock some funds from the treasury so we could rebuild. Do you really want me to do that, Grandy? Grandies, you're the ones who are wanting to try to fill up my banks to say that I'm trying to be a problem for everybody. And yet you're gonna opt for me to try to rebuild? Rebuild the city exactly as it was. Rebuild in stone rather than wood. Which, by the way, barons, you don't actually want either of these top choices because that's going to decrease defiance. And you want their defiance to increase. And Jalk, hello, welcome. We could offer no help, or find and punish the wizard responsible. Interesting how that decreases faith over there. It also looks like it decreases Grandy's military, decreases my authority, which the counts don't want. This is a difficult situation. At the very least, I'll go ahead, because I have my veto option, to veto the 3k treasury loss point. I will take that, so I don't lose big if I do lose. Hey, Counts, can you actually show up for this vote? We don't want the last option to win because that's going to decrease the authority. The vote starts. People, it's time to vote. Rebuild as it was. Decreasing treasure and defiance. No help. Increasing defiance, decreasing trade, and decreasing stability. Or D, find and punish the wizard responsible. Decreasing faith, decreasing military, decreasing authority, decreasing the wealth. Again, that's not treasury, that's wealth. And increasing defiance. Because in this situation, the counts can really only vote for A or C. They don't want D because that's going to decrease authority. That'll make it harder for them. And now, with the barons, with one vote being between A and D, those singular votes keeping the two even. Wake up, counts, please! You have some voting. You have some grandees voting. Is this it? Is this the end? Oh, we've got one more vote slotted in for option D. Will that be successful? I'm going over to continue. And I'm slapping the continue button. Voting is closed. Which means, just at the very end, A wins. We're rebuilding the city, spending money. Which means now I'm gonna have to do some more gambling to get that back up. God damn it! At least it doesn't become more hurtful for the counts either, though. Making it even harder for them to attempt to win. And Brody, hello, welcome. And thus makes it so that is another end of the season. While playing a game of chess in an austere castle, two counts of the East discuss their schemes against the crown. By Xenia's ashes, the queen must get a grip on the kingdom.
We can't allow her to join our secret society of immortals when she can hardly keep the crown on her head.
Counts aim to raise authority to at least 5. You only need one more point. Only one more. Oh, this is perfect. Right here. Monarch's Iron Choice. I adopt the law. I get rid of Monarch's Choice. That one. That doesn't matter. Who cares about it? We would continue. Now I can help you guys out and get that last authority point, because I'm pretty sure you are 1 mark away in your scheme underneath. Are you guys? Something like that. I feel like it was. Previous setback versus the others.
Counts, do not rebel! You'll help out the barons! I mean, you can basically ensure we vote for whatever you want.
Yeah, between now my Iron Choice as well as my money, I've got the money gambling, which the grandees will want me to win. And now I've got my Iron Choice option, which then the counts will want me to win. It's perfect. I manipulate the regions. I enter into the East now. I don't mean to exaggerate, Your Grace, but I believe I have pioneered the most incredible invention in the history of mankind. I was hosting a small party, playing cards with some old friends. I called for a servant to bring me something to eat. That was both tasty and convenient, as my hands were occupied. What my servant brought me that evening will change the world forever, Your Majesty. It sounds like your servant invented it, though, then? Well, yes, that is my employee, so I own the idea. It's only fair. Ah, yes, the classic, hey, I'm the company. I'm the one in charge, so as long as you work for me, everything you do here belongs to me. It's just mead, though.
Or maybe it's a honey lollipop being made by Fuzzy and all.
And username hero, hello and welcome. Behold! She holds in the air a plate. Atop the plate are 2 slices of bread, with a piece of meat wedged between them. It allows the hungry noble to consume 2 slices of bread plus meat all at once, saving valuable time. Meanwhile, the bread serves as an impregnable barrier, preventing one's hands from being besmirched by meaty juices. Oh, that's astonishing! Naturally, since this is my invention, I propose we name it after me. In a few years' time, I expect everyone to be enjoying a nice fuzzy bee bum for lunch. For sure, they call it the Bum Witch! Hey, are you enjoying a nice fuzzy bee bum today? I am so glad, Fuzzy, that you're the count that has ended up coming out for this. What a perfect name for it. Hey, do you want to go out and get some fuzzy bee bums for lunch today? Maybe have it with a glass of mead or a cup of milk. Eat my bum, it's delicious. Well, and then it would totally become a euphemism at some point too, where you give someone a wink and you go, hey, do you want to have some fuzzy bee bums? Wink. I go down the block to my favorite fuzzy bee bum shop every day. I'll take the bum. Unless I brown bum it to work. I love eating bums for lunch. Soft buns on this here fuzzy bee bum. Compliments to the chef. Oh my god. But naturally, this innovation cannot be made available for free. Every time a fuzzy bee bum is consumed, I expect a small royalty payment. Yes, give Fuzzy Bee Bum the royalties she deserves. No! Fuzzy Bee Bums are too delicious to be controlled. Fuzzy Bee Bum shall receive a one-time reward from the treasury instead. Or the servant should be rewarded instead. What was his name again? We can't do option D. If we did option D, we can't have Fuzzy Bee Bums. Right? That would be saying. You can't go down to the store with your bro to get a nice big fuzzy bee bum, you know? So option A will decrease defiance, increase wealth, decrease trade. Fuzzy bee bum's too delicious, increasing defiance, increasing trade. Fuzzy bee bum receiving payment, thus she gets more wealth. We lose money in the treasury and we get trade up. And last one is defiance increasing. Important notes here. Barons. You kind of want B or D, because that's a defiance change. If we go for C, that's bad for the grandees. Grandees would not want that because it's decreasing treasury even more. And then the top one would also be a case that the barons don't want. I didn't say it before. Barons would be okay. Barons would be good with B or D. Not A, because that's decreasing defiance. D seems reasonable. But then again, you can't have fuzzy bee bums. The servant deserves to be rewarded for their contribution to humanity. Issue. If we did go that route, we don't know the servant's name. Which means you might not have a fuzzy bee bum.
I'll give their servant their due.
I'm going to use the monarch's iron choice here. Right? Counts. Help him out right here. Fuzzy bee bums are too delicious to be controlled. I dangle out the authority point over your head. Huh? I start the vote.
No, we don't want that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Of course you do. Don't let the fuzzy bee bums be controlled. Fuzzy bee bums for everybody.
Come on, dude! Give Fuzzy the bee bums the royalties she deserves! Vote A! Vote A!
Fuzzy says, pretending that it's not her voicing that opinion. But it's B that comes out on top. Getting the counts, that last point in authority, that way they can be at the third tier of their scheme too. And here we go. Oh, Dracov's bones! If you don't reward me, how do you expect to motivate the next great innovator? Becoming more defiant. 1 point left for the Barons. Authority now checked and met for the counts. That's, I'm pretty sure, still their second part of their scheme goal. And now the Grandees, no change for them. Fuzzy bee bums prove a massively popular luncheon. Bakeries spring up across the east, experimenting with new ingredients. Turns out you can put almost anything between two pieces of bread. Imagine all of the different fuzzy bee bums you can now go out and enjoy. Trade is now opulent.
It's just so stupid. Fuzzy bee bums.
The next time you eat a sandwich, everybody, make sure you think about the fact that they, in an alternate reality, could have ended up being called fuzzy bee bums. You are eating a fuzzy bee bums. You can put almost anything between your bums. Steamed fuzzy bee bums.
Well, it's time to go get me some delicious bum.
Alright, I head down to the south where there's a brand new harvester, like a harvesting machine or someone who's just getting started in, you know, the farming business. Your Highness, the scholars and great thinkers of the South have invented a new farming implement. Some kind of horse-drawn machine that automatically reaps and threshes grain. They call it a wheat eater, and it's revolutionizing agriculture.
2 more extra points in farming. It's now fruitful.
And it would be of great use to us in the marsh. Our farms are struggling to keep up with demand, you know.
Barons are losing faith in their win. So many inventions. We'll not share the designs with the likes of you, Marcher Leech. Our people worked hard on that machine. We deserve to reap its rewards, not you.
After we just said, hey, everyone can have the sandwich. I mean fuzzy bee bums.
Dude, Melody is calling us leeches, but the designs are mine.
We can force the Grandees to distribute the designs. We can compensate the Grandees for the invention and share it with the other region.
I don't want B. B decreases the treasury. Grandees don't want that either.
We can leave the machines in the South only, or halt the production of these machines. They're an affront to honest farmers everywhere. Yeah, defiance. The only option that doesn't increase defiance is B. But that also decreases treasury? Grandees don't want that. Last option, though. Defiance up. Farming does decrease. But that increases faith. I roll out my money. Get this one. Grandees, don't use it. It's bad. I know it helps out your farming. But think of the 9th. Think of the 9th. Alright, go. 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 I'm waiting. Come on. Pick D and you can get Defiance up anyway.
Don't force the Grandees to distribute the designs. Stop that.
If you can't have the designs anyway, vote for option D. Nobody can get it in that circumstance, eh? Grandees, we're gonna need some more votes down here. Grandees. I point at D. Huh? Huh? Don't ruin my vote.
No! But my gold! My treasury! Oh, jeez. I don't know if there's even 8 grandees here.
That's how many people would have to vote down for option D in order to point it? That's right. Here, in my left hand, I'm holding a fuzzy B bomb. With my right, I start pointing at the D. In fact, I use my fuzzy B bomb to point at the D. It's right there. And it's not winning. It's not happening. There goes my money. My money falls on the floor. There it goes. Council has spoken.
It's tyranny, I tell you. You're punishing innovation and shackling the free market. It won't like that, no.
So defiant. In fact, the market actually doesn't mind much. Machines go a long way to improving agriculture in other regions, making your kingdom more prosperous as a whole. Farming up, farming up! Not the right kind of prosperous, though. Guess now's the time to find out about Saint and Sillers.
Well, thanks, Counts. Counts, you did this!
God dang it. Look, all I'm saying is, every grandee claims to have a saint in his ancestry. Your great-great-grandfather was probably a common dullard.
Shut your mouth, you hedge-born puzzled wit! His name was Saint Umber, and he defeated the werewolf of Aranjar by turning it to dust in an instant, according to my grandmother.
If you're so sure. How about a little wager? A bag of gold says your ancestor was no saint.
You're on! Huh? Oh no, not another petty dispute. Count Chalk is spreading damnable lies about my great-great-grandfather.
Look, if you really think he was a saint, then dig him up. Saints are incorruptible, even after death. They don't decay.
Very well. I request the council's permission to exhume my ancestor and prove this fool wrong.
Grant permission for the body to be exhumed. 70% faith check. No, dead people should stay underground. Defiance up. Or ask the archbishop to check church records instead. Stability check. It's a rough one. You know what we're not gonna do? B. I'm a gambling queen right here. I want to roll some die. Are we going to do a stability check or a faith check? I hand you the vote. What are you going to do, nobles? It seems you're wanting the body to be exhumed to do a closer look. This might matter, but there's no way to know. Yeah, in the case where I fail the faith check and maybe the body's decayed, or we succeed the faith check and we find out they're still totally beautiful down there in their coffin. I have no idea. Pretty obvious A is winning here. See? 3 votes? I grab my die. Here we go. Exhuming the body.
Ninth bless you, your highness. Now, where's my shovel?
A few days later, the body is exhumed from its resting place in the southern necropolis. Failing the faith check, looking at the skeleton. Grandee, sick of life, is horrified to discover nothing but a moldering skeleton. Badass! Zobzent, I think you owe me an apology.
Hi, the 9th. I was so sure.
Word spreads of Grandee Sick's humiliation, and faith in the church weakens as a result. Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad for me. Very bad for me. Since everybody went down a point.
Correct. Stop!
That's the end of the season. Deep in the eastern mountains, a night owl screeches as two counts plot in their hidden castle. Aha! How exquisite! The queen is drunk with power! We're so close, but I was thinking, should we really show the queen the true secrets of our group?
I thought that was the point. Immortality and all that.
Yes, but those secrets are meant to be, well, a kept secret. What if we pulled the wool over her eyes? Options. Plan a false immortality ritual for the queen that will kill her. Goal. Lower own defiance. You look over at your 9 points. That's not happening. Induct the queen into a real secret society of immortal blood drinkers. Goal. Raise own farming. Yeah, nodding at that. This one should be obvious. Pretty obvious vote for the counts. One of them being very difficult. Second option, easy as hell. Hey, Caco, wanna be immortal?
Oh, heck, oh, geez, it would be pretty cool to live forever. We will grant you immortality. Oh, heck, oh, geez. I sure like that idea. But I won't know until you come tell me about it, huh?
Very well. We must prepare for the ritual.
Yes, I'll begin appeasing the spirits of the soil.
But first, we must enrich our lands. By the blood of the dead. It won't be long now. For the final stage of their scheme, the counts must raise their farming to at least 10? Ooh. I feel like the last scheme that you've got to do is always the most difficult one. The one where you actually have to change your score, usually. Expected 9 at the least. It is kind of seemed like, for the most part, that whenever the third part of the scheme happens, that you've always got to move points at least around a little bit. And Ecstatic Carson. Gotta go? Alright, then. Thanks for coming on by to watch. Very cool.
And I will keep it up. Yeah, I grab the fuzzy bee bums and I hold them up high. Glory to the barons. Woo!
Counts have it rough. It could have been rougher. It's not awful, but see, now everybody is all here at Scheme Part 3. At least you are already at a stat where it's already decently high.
Alright, how's the rebellion report? Everybody's on the verge of rebelling?
I don't know if the barons rebelling would make them auto-win their scheme, but them being ready to rebel is awfully dangerous, because they do have their high military. A desperate situation? Or did they all... Oh. You're right, I think they did win here, because the Defiance scores. Uh-oh. You stand over a large decorated map of the kingdom, surrounded by your advisors. The situation with the nobles is becoming untenable, Your Majesty. They are refusing to even attend the council to find compromises to their latest grievances. It's like they want a civil war. Increasing of defiance to maximum for both the east and the south? Oh geez, what are our options? Well, not many options left now. The royal army alone cannot quell an all-out rebellion. Suddenly, a loud voice carries through the room, startling everyone. Your Majesty is in need of my assistance? Fluttering their hand upon their chest, flipping their hair around a little bit, popping their head off, just a slight amount off their head, McQueen. You recognize the general, of course. Their faces plastered all over town these days.
What do you want from me?
Allow me to put down this upstart rebellion on your behalf, Your Majesty. I and the other barons are more than ready.
There's no catch?
They smile. None at all. They rub their hands together. They bow their head down a little bit so that the shadows cast over their eyes, making them look more sinister. In fact, somebody comes by with a little candlelight to hold it underneath Luca's face to cast an extra eerie glow. No catch, I promise, as they start twiddling their fingers together. I normally see the Barons lose a lot. We did good this time. All I require is for you to grant me emergency command of the military. The dark expressions of your advisors tell you everything you need to know. That's what it takes to secure my kingdom. Then do it. I will make the declaration here and now. Well, if that's what it takes to secure my kingdom. You assemble the remaining nobles to vote through the transfer of power before the day's end. Most of the benches are empty, an omen of the conflict to come. Beaming with pride, Luca is named Protector General of the realm. Months pass in a blur. You spend most of your days sequestered in your chambers with your wife, Gloria. The new Protector General, meanwhile, wastes no time infiltrating your institutions. After a number of decisive victories against the rebels, your advisors start reporting to them instead of you. Oh. And now, East and South dropping in their military because of Luca's successful conquests. The embattled peasantry idolizes the Protector General to the point of worship. Even the church backs them as a righteous savior. It's clear that Luca won't give up their emergency powers, even when you win. Well, I can become a figurehead at least. I can stay here. It's not a bad life in the end. Luca allows you to keep your crown, though it's a symbolic title. Power is slowly but inexorably transferred away from the Queen and towards the Protector General. As the war dies down, all the important posts in your government are filled by barons and their allies. Still, at least you get to live. If you behave, you might even get to wave out, out of a ceremonial carriage or two. I'm kind of like the Baron's mascot in this situation. I remember the patricians having that as an option to go for. Better than death! Queen Cacophony was a powerless figurehead for the Barons while the Protector General made the decisions. When the Queen finally died, the transfer of power was purely symbolic. In a sun-dimpled vineyard, Belana the Grandee Konkordsky opened a bottle of their finest vintage. Their schemes had amounted to nothing, but there's always next time. With their plans in tatters, the counts retreated to their castles to brood. Their olive branch was rejected. The secret of eternity they had guarded for eons. It would not be so kind again. They didn't even have a chance to confront me with that. The barons were too quick to enact their scheme. The ascension of General Luca to the throne is uncontested. It's clear who holds the real power in the kingdom. But while the common folk celebrate their hero's success, the other barons are already worrying that their would-be puppet is actually the one holding the strings. Queen Cacophony the hated.
Nobody ended up liking me in the end. I tried to help people out, but woof, they did not like me. At least during my reign, the fuzzy bee bums were invented. That's at least one bonus. And now I had my spouse. However, my successor was just Monarch Luca there. Nobles here, wealthiest being Mimi, poorest, however, being Otter. Kingdom stats, 030, 4 stability, 1800 treasury. And you can see where everyone lies over there with their individual region scores. Thus ending King of the Castle.
And with 3.5 hours here of stream, that's not really enough to have time for a second run through unless the second run ended up being incredibly short. So at that point, we are just going to go ahead and end for today. The last time we will be playing King of the Castle. Maybe if they do an update to it at some time in the future, we'll come back and play it again, check out what they might add or might have added. But I have no idea if they're going to do anything else with King of the Castle or not. It was fun in what we have played of it. Very cool. Really like the way that the integration is executed for it. It's great. A lot of fun. Thank you all for joining me and participating as well. It's a lot more fun to see how the different counts, or I should say nobles, come in and interact with each other. Also, absolute highlight between all of those different runs is Fuzzy having that sandwich made and named after her. Mwah! Absolutely perfect. The Fuzzy Bee Bums. Woo! And thank you all for those who have resubscribed, given bits, as well as followed. You're all appreciated. You're all lovely. You're all awesome. 'Twas fun. Glad you enjoyed it. And tomorrow will be Patch Quest with Chansey Bell. Co-op experience. Roguelike game where you capture monsters that will appear in maps and you run around and fight enemies with them. Woo! That's right, co-op! Woo! Always know where to go for some good bum. A snap, and a wink, and a wave, and a goodbye.